Actually, this quality of water is very simple unit. It is very basic unit. If you all people are aware of it, means I can jump into the next unit. That depends on you only. How many people are there now?
Right now, 7.
7 only, no? Shall we wait for 2 more minutes?
Yes, ma'am. Or else you can share that PPT in the group. Everyone can
I already
review.
shared, no.
No, what I'm telling is you can share that water PPT in the group. You can skip that presentation and go for the next one.
So you are asking about the old PPT.
Old PPT is fine anyway that you are sharing. Now you are telling that this is about regarding the water, no madam.
Quality of water.
Yeah.
Already I have shared. You please open it. Train ulla poirukkan, ticket eduthu wait pannu.
No, madam. Just now I am seeing in the group only air pollution PPT is there.
No, sir, exactly. I'm asking you really. I'm not clear about your question. Today's class PPT already I have shared in the group.
Yeah, air pollution that you have shared, madam.
No, water quality also nowadays shared. You just check your WhatsApp.
No, madam.
It didn't came, madam. It didn't came in the group. Now, just now it came.
Yes, sir. Yes, after that only I not go. About that only you are asking. Otherwise, last class PPT are you asking? I wanted to know. That's what I asked you.
Yeah, this is fine. We are asking our last class PPT also. We are asking.
Okay. So that I will forward the end of class. Okay.
In the evening you can do that. No problem.
Okay, fine.
Thank you.
How many are there? Still 7 only?
8 people.
8 people. Okay, 1 or 2 minutes we'll wait, then we'll start. Any one of you are working on this water treatment department? Some of you are from pharma industry. They are doing this job that I know. Other than that, anyone is working on water treatment? People have to come out. You keep quiet, mean yes or no, you have to say no. All your classmates only know, you might be knowing that what you are doing, what I am doing, what she is doing, what he is doing. Anyone is working on water treatment? My voice is audible?
Yes, madam, audible.
Okay. Okay, fine. Only 8 are there. Wait 1 or 2 minutes. You people can open up the slide. You can see. If you want me to explain this, I will explain. If people are aware of it, means I will jump into the next unit. I'm giving priority to you people. Based on your interest, I will tell. So just to go ahead. So 8 people are there now. Just to open it and see. No, this is very simple. No need to know. We are all aware of it. Means then I can go to the next unit that is on treatment of water or water treatment. Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Please go through it. It is very simple only.
Yeah,
but here and there, that the unit is very important. The entire unit will be asked as a one single question. Without this question, also no question paper you could see. Even in the second unit, many people have not attended. In that unit, they will ask what is meant by corrosion. Please note it down. What is meant by corrosion? What are the causes for corrosion? How to prevent the corrosion process? Any one of these 3 will be coming. And next to that, what is meant by Even I forgot that term. You please note it down. The next question is on tuberculosis. What is meant by tuberculosis and causes for the tuberculosis?
Sorry, madam.
Tuberculosis. What is meant by tuberculosis and what are the causes for tuberculosis? Two important questions will come from the unit number 2. Now, water quality is unit number 3. The entire unit or half of the unit, they will ask us a question. Without that question, no question paper you could see. That is what is the characteristics of water, or what are the qualities of water, or what physical and chemical qualities of water, or how to carry out the physical and chemical test. And sometimes they will ask what are the biological characteristics of water, like that they will ask. Sometimes simply they are asked write a note on water quality, water characteristics. So the entire unit is very, very, very important on exam point of view. This is about unit number 3. Now I am telling about unit number 2. From the unit number 2, what is meant by tuberculosis and the causes for tuberculosis? This question will come. This is important question. And another important question is corrosion. What is meant by corrosion? What are the causes for corrosion? What are the prevention takes place for this corrosion? These are all important questions from unit number 2. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, shall I start unit number 3? Or we will go ahead to unit number 4? Okay.
Unit 3, ma'am.
3, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Okay. The quality of water. This is very, very important when you are talking about the water treatment and water wastewater treatment technologies. Quality of water, suppose we are taking that, the water is good, water is bad. On what basis we are telling that water is good, water is bad? Come out a little fast.
Taste and color.
Based on color. Okay. Then?
Taste.
Then?
Basic things. Impurities. External impurities.
Okay.
What we can see.
Yeah, okay.
Hardness of the water. If we use the
hardness, we will go chemical test now. That we will not do now. That after testing.
External. Okay, ma'am.
By seeing the water, for example, now I'll keep the water on the table in 2 glasses. One is clear water without any smell, color, without any turbid I am keeping. In next glass, I keep colored water. It gives little smell and a little turbidity is there. By look itself, we will say that the second glass is turbid color and this, that, XYZ. So it cannot be used for drinking purpose. We will reject it, isn't it? The water which is in the first glass, which looks clear, which looks without any turbid, without any smell. So by look itself, we find out this is the good quality of water. That is immaterial to whether any microbial contamination is there or any radiological contamination is there or not. We won't mind it. We mind it that appearance only. That is called physical appearance. That is called physical quality of water. Understood?
Yes,
not understood. Okay.
Yes,
understood.
Understood.
Yeah. So once that from that point we will decide that yeah, this water is good, so we can be used. Then that after that we will taste it. If the taste is convinced to us, then we will drink it or not. We will decide. Then what did you say, that if hardness is more, the taste will be less, the later formation will be less. If it is not there, it will be more. So then we will consider for all the purpose. We will decide and we started using the water. But here the concept is something different. What is different? Once you see the water, physical appearance is good, and some of the things are there or not there. Based on that, the water is being committed for it is for human consumption, or it is for industrial process, or it is for agriculture process, or it is for anything else we will decide. Understand? So anyhow, whatever it may be the source of water, it is available nowadays in the public water supply. that water we cannot be used directly, or we cannot commit that water for water treatment consumption directly without any treatment. The water analysis, initially people will be carried out, which supplements the information to the sanitary department, which is nothing but that water quality study. Whatever we are doing for public water supply is called sanitary analysis. Nothing, don't think something else. This water analysis, which is being carried out in terms of physical test, chemical test, bacteriological test, and occasionally nowadays people are doing microscopic analysis, and sometimes recently people are doing in end of 20th century and 20th century, people are nowadays they are doing radiological test also. So these are all the tests generally people are carrying out to assess the quality of water. This is called water characterization or water characteristics. Actually, mineral analysis primarily the people are doing in water, that is to determine the particular type of or source of water, whether it is suitable for industrial purpose or not. If mineral content is more, all the quality is good, all the parameters are lying within the standard, only mineral content is more means that water cannot be used for industrial process. Why it cannot be used for industrial process? Anyone can answer to me? Hello? Hello? Why, if the water, all the parameter of water is good, only the mineral content is more in water means that water cannot be used for industrial process. Why?
Because the molecules or ions reacted with chemicals, madam. They may form another variant compound.
Okay. Suppose in some of the industry, people are not at all using chemicals, they are following. For example, food industries. In food industry, people are not using chemicals now. In that type of industry also, the water which contains lot of mineral cannot be used for the process. Why? What you said, it is correct to some extent in industrial process. If we come into the generalization, generalized concept is what? Anyone can answer? Okay, I'll come to the point. If salt or mineral content more in the water means when you are using it for industrial process, why is the major part of water is used in industries? Where the people are using major quantity of water in the industrial process? Hello?
For filtration, steam generation.
When they are doing these two processes, if the mineral is more means in filtration process which clogs the filter, first process. In steam generation, which makes a scale formation, isn't it?
Yes. Yes, madam.
If the scale formation is more means which will be reflected in pH when we are using the software, the normal water in the process. So to avoid all the problem, if the water is coming for industrial process, that's supposed to be free from the mineral. If mineral content is more or normal, if other parameters are good, then the water can be used for domestic purpose also. If color is there, little odor is there, then the water can be used for agriculture purpose. No issue at all. If the water wanted to be reused in the same industry, is supposed to be meet all the required characteristics, then only it can be reused in the industries. So these are all the characteristics has to be carried out or tested in water based on the characteristics the water is being committed for different purposes. Either it can be used for domestic or human consumption, it can be used for agriculture or industrial process, and some other gardening purposes will be decided based on the analysis. First, by appearance itself to some extent we will decide. Then by chemical test itself it will be decided to some extent. By biological test itself, it will be decided to another extent. By radiological test itself, everything is being confirmed. The source of water is how it could be. So how the people are doing this kind of analysis, we will study now. For example, if you commit the water for domestic purpose, the water is supposed to be clear, colorless, odorless, pleasant to drink, and reasonably full. If it is very hot means we will not drink, isn't it? And supposed to be free from all the impurities which are all harmful for the human health. and the water which is required for the production of steam or an industrial process, that's supposed to be free from the mineral and organic content. If organic content is there, means what will happen? Decomposition will take place continuously, which makes one chemical to another chemical, and it releases some organic gases also, which affect the process. And so we have to analyze to determine the particular thickness of this water for purpose, and it decide for the consumption. Sources of impurity. What are the sources are there? Impurities are there in the water. Generally, it is being classified two broad ways. The first method, which gives on the basis of either it is inorganic impurities or organic impurities, and sometimes the living organism is there or not, they are in the first method. And the second method of clarification, which is based on the type of or nature of impurities, that is either it is suspended form or dissolved form or colloidal form, like that it is being classified. But both organic and inorganic impurities, which is being comes under the category of suspended, dissolved or colloidal impurities. I mean, whatever it may be impurity, some of the impurity will be completely dissolved in water. Some of them will be suspended in water, it will be floated or suspended. Some of the impurities will be there that cannot be suspended also, that cannot be suspended, settled down also. We cannot visually see also. Those particles are called colloidal particles. Any one of you can say what is meant by colloidal particle? Have you seen the colloidal particle anywhere? Hello? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Any one of you have seen that colloidal particle, or anyone can say what's meant by colloidal particle? Okay,
No,
I will give some homework in this class, and the next class you have to come up with the answer. Okay, you take some paste. Toothpaste is there now. You take some toothpaste. You take one mug of water. In that you put that paste and dissolve it. Make use of your fingers. Okay, understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And how it looks, you just observe. After complete solubilized from your finger, and you just have a look at how is it. That particle are called colloidal particle. You try to observe. Today itself we do. In the next class we try to answer. Got my point?
Yes.
Anyone is interested to do, or just will hear and leave?
We'll do it.
Okay, then how many people will come up with the answer? Let me see. So that is colloidal particle. That colloidal particle will not settle down by natural settling process, and that cannot be filtered it out by a normal filtration process. Some special techniques supposed to be followed to remove those particles. That is a process called coagulation followed by flagellation. We have separate unit on flagellation and coagulation. I will explain in detail about the process. Okay. First, you should know what is meant by colloidal particle. You do that exercise, I'll come up on the next class and try to answer to me what is that. Okay. And next, the water impurities will be. First up, we will see about the inorganic impurities. Inorganic impurities means these are all mineral or metal-based impurities. They are existing both the form of the suspended and the dissolved form. Suspended form in the form of salt and clay particles, which gives a problem or effect on water, that is turbidity. And the dissolved particles, this is very contributes the major contribution in water quality. Based on this only, the water is being decided either it can be used for human consumption or industrial consumption. The dissolved particle as in the form of hard carbonate and bicarbonates of calcium and magnesium, which contributes the problem to the water in the form of hardness and alkalinity. Sulfate, chloride of calcium and magnesium gives corrosion of biopolyers and hardness. This is actually there are two types of hardness. One is temporary hardness, another one is permanent hardness. Carbonate and bicarbonate, which gives temporary hardness or permanent hardness.
Temporary.
Temporary. Permanent hardness is given by chlorides and sulfates of calcium.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And the carbonate and bicarbonate of sodium gives alkalinity and the softness process problem. Nitrates, which is in the range of 50 ppm, which gives blueberries issue into the water. Chlorides of sodium, we know that, which increase the salt content in water, that is for makes water in brackish. Fluorides of sodium, you know that a fluorine content in water which will be present in more than 1.5 ppm, means which gives staining on the teeth. That is called fluorisis. The teeth which is something yellowish pinch on the upper side, means that is called fluorescence. If fluorine content is more in water, means that problem will come. I think many people may be aware of it. Iron oxide that gives a taste, color, hardness into the water. Manganese also imparts the same issue, taste and form. And next one is organic impurities. They are in two forms, suspended and dissolved form. The water quality or water is being decided based on the biological quality only. Either it is normal water or wastewater will be decided based on this test only. The suspended impurities, there are available in two forms. One is vegetable form, another one is animal form. Vegetable forms are decayed leaves, algae, and fungi. Animal forms are dead animals, hair and insects. These two are giving a major problem to the water, as in the form of acidity, taste, change of color, bacteria development, and which makes the water is more contaminated.
Presentation is not.
Yes, yes.
Presentation is not visible, ma'am.
You people have the slides, no? You are looking.
It's not visible. Only screen is showing just.
Madam, in your WhatsApp.
Anyway, I'm sharing it. You can see.
I sent into the group only.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, I'm sharing that.
Sir, no need. I already put it in the group only, all the slides. You just open up your WhatsApp and see. Actually, I am facing some problem. I have to rectify it. So at least I have to try to do in the next class. Got it? Madam, did you get it? Hello?
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
The next one is dissolved form. This is also both vegetable and animal based. Vegetable forms in the form of large quantity of albuminoid and nitrogen with a little free ammonia and chlorine, which makes bacteria develop in the water. Animal is also contributing the same sort of problem, but here the lot of free ammonia and chlorides will be there, which develops bacteria, virus, everything in the water, which makes pathogenic pollution in water due to the sewage discharge, and which makes it dangerous to the water if we consume for any purpose. If we handle that water even for agriculture purpose also, which makes problem. Without any treatment, that kind of polluted water cannot be touched. That's why the water is lying here and there in stagnant condition quite a long time. That is sewage discharge water. If your touches or stand there for quite a long time, we will be infected. So that water cannot be used for anything else until or otherwise we will do closed treatment. It is unfit for anything. And standard, this is about the impurities. And whatever I have mentioned, those are all about the impurities. What are the types of impurities? What impurity is, what effect into the water? Actually, next one is, now technically or scientifically, people are telling that this quality of water is good based on the standard limit, they will say. Especially in the industrial usage, especially in water supply department people, they are following this kind of standards only for checking the quality for public use. So what are the standards? Many standards are available. The water quality standard is being developed by many people. They are different waterworks department, municipalities, corporation, public health department, WHO, nationalized, stat-wise pollution control boards. Everybody is having their own standard, but worldwide agreed standard, everyone is following that ISI standard only. In your book, they have given ISI standard for many parameters. That is total solid hardness, chloride, iron, manganese, arsenic, lead, copper, fluorine, chlorine, dissolved oxygen, pH value, nitrates, taste, temperature, color, odor, B. coli, that is bacteria concentration, radiological emit concentration, beta-emitter. These are all generally people are following up the ISI standard to check the water quality for public water supplies. They have given some limits in your book. If you are interested, you just go through it. Some of the values just remember. If this question will come, means you have to write down this. Then we will discuss about the test. I said there are 3-4 different types of tests. One is physical test, second one is chemical test, and third one is biological test, and the fourth one is bacteriological test or radiological test. In your book, they have given very simply. Actually, this characterization test is very big process and very big unit. But as per your syllabus, they have given briefly. Whatever is there, I am explaining. Anything extra, if you want to know, means you please contact me. I will tell you. Now you people may know my number, and WhatsApp number also is there. If you have any doubt, means we are from the second year MSc, dispatch me. If you write like that, I will respond to you all. Got my point? Have you heard me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Yes, okay, no, yes, something one or other thing you people have to respond. No.
Yeah. Definitely we'll contact you, madam. Whenever there is any doubt, we'll definitely contact you.
Okay, physical test. Okay, thank you, sir. Anyone can contact, no issue at all, but you have to write it very clearly. That I have to understand. First, physical test. Actually, this is based on 2 categories. The physical test, physiochemical test, people generally say they have split it into physical test and the chemical test. Physical test is from the physical test, people are understanding the physical quality like color, taste, odor, turbidity. And in chemical test, that is very huge type of test. Many parameters are involved in that. But in your book, they have given very simply, this much test is not sufficient. But from that, we can identify whether the quality of water is sufficient for human consumption or not. So that's what they have framed like that. So physical test, what I said, color, taste, and odor, turbidity. Color, how the people are doing. Color test, how the people will do. Can you explain to me? Anyone of you are aware of it? Anyone of you are aware of it? How you do the color test? By colorimeter, we can do the color test. Okay. Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
You do the color test in your practical class. Don't worry. If I will come, I will teach. Otherwise, somebody else will come. They will teach you. You have to take the water and a different absorption wavelength. You have to keep. And where you get the maximum wavelength, that is the standard wavelength for finding out the color. So from that, you can, the water is colorless or little color or pale color or transparent, you can find out. By your own way, your own method, your own eyes, your own hand, and you take your own source of water from your house, you bring it and do the test and you find out. They will advise you like that only. You bring the water from your home, bore water and both corporation water. You bring it, do the test and find the quality of what water you are consuming. And you have to write the report based on that. That is your practicals for water treatment. Understand? So when you are doing the practical classes, you carry the water from your own house and do that. So color, how the color is forming in the water. As I said, when we are talking about the impurities, from the inorganic source, iron and manganese which give the color to the water. And sometimes these 2 chemicals will give the taste also to the water. If iron content is good, the taste will be good. If a manganese content is good, that also imparts the taste, but the brownish tinge of the water will be increased. And other than that, the color due to the water is mainly by floating organism, organic matter which present in the water which comes out from underground during by the decomposition process, from decomposing vegetation, natural metallic iron, I said iron and manganese, some sludge, algae, and the mixing of industrial waste, all together which gives the problem of color into the water. The colored water is undesirable because of the consumer's objection to its appearance. Further, it may discolor clothing and adversely affect the industrial processes. So that is the problem of this color. Next one is taste and water. These are also physical characteristics. There are many reasons are there for this taste and water, and the parameter of taste and water is very important. If the water is very bad taste and which gives bad odor, no one is ready to take that water, isn't it? If some water is there or if the taste is not good, no one will drink, isn't it? And it may be caused, this taste and odor is caused by, again it is by decaying organic matter, algae and other microorganisms present in the water, iron and manganese and other metallic parts of corrosion which comes out from the water carrying system. And the industrial wastewater discharges mainly by phenolic compound which containing in the organic matter, chlorine, and during the disinfection process is released by this chlorine into the water. These are all the reasons for odor and taste. Next one is turbidity. Turbidity means what? Anyone can explain what is meant by turbidity? Which is nothing but the apparent color or capacity caused by the presence of suspended matter such as clay. Turbidity means the simple definition is capacity caused by the apparent color or capacity, which is caused by some unwanted material that is in the form of clay, finely divided organic matter and inorganic matter, sometimes which give by the floating and other microorganisms also. If the water turbidity is there, means because of the turbidity which reduces the transparency of the water. If the transparency is reduced, means we can understand that the water clarity will not be there. We will say not crystal clarity. That clarity will not be there, then people will reject to use it. These are all about the physical test. I said some of the industrial process water, even stagnant water which begins dark brown in color here and there. Have you seen anywhere? I'm asking the question to you people. Hello? If water is stagnant for quite a long time somewhere, or the wastewater generated from some of the industrial process or from the sewage or stagnant water, if it is lying quite a long time for one place, the water becomes brown in color. What is the reason behind that for that brownish color? Anyone can answer? Little faster, time is going up.
No idea, madam.
Okay. Anyway, any industrial process, or any sewage water, or any stagnant water, or brown water, or any water, if it gives light yellow color into brown color, means that is only because of the presence of phenolic compounds. The phenolic compounds are released from anywhere else, either it is from the industrial process. Any industrial process, or by the natural decomposition process, or by the release of chemicals as in the form of phenolic compound into the water. These are all the compounds released into the water which are responsible for the yellow tinge into the dark brown color of water. Some of the industrial process you can say, they will say due to the any plant-based raw material industrial process, wastewater you can look that gives the dark brown color. Have you seen anywhere? People have seen any paper and pulp industries? People have seen any sugar industries? No one has seen? Hello?
No, madam. No.
No sugar industry, what is that? Paper and pulp industry, have you seen? Industrial wastewater also have been. Okay, if hereafter if we see anywhere, you just observe it. Sugar industrial wastewater and paper and pulp industry, those are all plant-based industries, isn't it? Sugarcane-based, and this is wood-based industry. Those industrial wastewater color, you can find out the dark yellow to brown color tinge will be there. That is only because of phenolic compound. Like here also, when I was explaining about the color and odor, the color other than the natural process like iron and manganese or the other organic matter, the dark color is imparted by the release of phenolic compound into the water. Okay. And the next one is chemical test. Actually, the chemical and biological tests are to be carried out in the laboratory mainly for to know about the level of some of the chemical present in the water as well as the number of microorganisms, or we can say the counts of microorganisms present in the water. The main chemical tests are pH test, hardness, dissolved oxygen. And the main biological tests are Bicolate test. Bicolate test actually it is not indicating the counts of the pathogenic bacteria, but still people are doing Bicolate or E. coli test in water. How the people are doing pH? What is the pH for drinking water?
7.
What? 11.
7.
My God.
7, madam.
7.
7.
Oh, okay, 7. Okay, fine. Then
From 0 to 14.
that is pH level, ma'am. The scale of pH is from 0 to 14. That is correct.
Okay, 7, ma'am.
What is the? Okay. Okay, I will tell you.
6.5 to 8.5, madam.
7
That is the
and
range.
8.5. Public water.
6.5 to 8.5 is the range for drinking water. Little
6.5 to 7.5, madam.
6.5 to 7.5. Okay. Then, what is meant by pH?
Power of hydrogen
What
ion
is meant?
concentration in water.
No, please tell me, sir. Repeat. I couldn't hear your voice properly.
Number of hydrogen ion concentration present in water, madam.
Okay, good. Suppose if it is in blood means?
Sorry, madam.
Now you said number of hydrogen ion present in water is called pH. Suppose
Yes.
number of ion present in blood means what is that? That is also pH, isn't it? Okay,
Yes, madam.
I'll explain. Actually, how to easily depend in your book also they have defined something differently. What is meant by pH means it is a potential of hydrogen ion concentration or hydroxyl ion concentration is called pH. But people are not giving much. If water is there, if it splits means how it splits? H plus and OH minus ions, isn't it? H plus 1 ion, OH minus 1 ion, both are equally parted. If both equally combined means then H2O will come, then it became neutral. But for our convenience to understand, we are taking about always H plus ions only for strength. That's what people are always saying, that hydrogen ion potential of hydrogen ion concentration is called pH. Equally, it has to be defined, potential of hydroxyl ion concentration is also called pH only. Got my point?
Yes, madam. Got it.
Yes, madam.
Yes. Okay. This hydrogen ion concentration are the pH value which gives the idea of degree of either acidity or alkalinity of water or any liquid. That is called pH, which gives an idea of degree of acidity or alkalinity of any liquid, not only water. The practical pH value extends from 0 to 14. If it is 0 to 7 is neutral, as a middle point. That mid value indicates that exact neutrality of the liquid or content. If it is from 0 to 6.9, that is called acidity. If the value is 0 to 6.9, if it is in ascending order, it goes mean the acidity level is decreased. 0 indicates maximum acidity, 1 indicates maximum, 6.9 indicates less, minimum acidity. Likewise, when we are going from 7.1 to 14, the alkalinity level is in ascending order. The maximum alkalinity is at 14. From 14 to 7.1, it is the alkalinity level started decreases. For public water supply, if you are coming into the water supply system, preferably the water pH is supposed to be 7 and between the range of 7 and 8.5 is comfortable range for human consumption. Even if it is 6.5 and 8.5, also it is okay for human consumption. If it is less than that or more than that, which gives severe problem to the human health, so it is not advisable to go beyond the limit within the range. How we have to find out the pH? So we are talking about the pH. How to find out or how to measure the pH of the water? or any solution. Actually, as I said that it is necessity to carry out the test for pH value to determine the alkalinity or acidity of water strength. It can be carried out by two methods. One is electrometric method or the calorimetric method. You have both the method to find out the pH in your practical test. You do both the calorimetry and the electrometric method. Electrode will be there just to put in the water after calibration. After calibration, not the word. After calibration, you put the electrode, you can find out the water. Calorimetric means that is simple technique you have to follow to find out the pH. And some of the pH papers are also available based on the rate. Make use of that. You can find out the pH ranges. If pH is less than means that is acidic water. That acidic water, if you are using for human consumption in a water carrying pipe, which causes the problem of tuberculosis and corrosion. If pH is more than 7 means that is alkaline water, which gives the problem of incrustation, sedimentation, deposit, difficulty in chlorination process, physiological effect will come for human bodies. So the pH is supposed to be in the mentioned range, especially for human consumption. If it is beyond and the limit, whatever the mentioned limit, it gives the problem in both the ways. Likewise, if the water is used for industrial process, also different kind of effect will come. If it is used for the agriculture process based on the soil quantity, the impact will be less or more. And the next one is hardness. What is meant by hardness, I said? Hello? What is meant by hardness? No one is there in the class.
Is there, madam?
What is meant by hardness? I told you now when we are talking about that impurity. What is meant by hardness?
Salts are present, ma'am. More salts of
What
calcium.
salt? What kind of salt?
Calcium, magnesium.
It is a sum of calcium and magnesium concentration.
Magnesium, ma'am. If we use the soap, we'll get less lather.
Hello? Hello?
Hello, ma'am.
What is meant by hardness? I told you when we have explained about the impurities.
Presence of certain salts of calcium and magnesium, like that.
Okay, fine.
Due to hardness of water, if we use soap, lather will not get, ma'am.
Yes, yes, very good.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to know. Technically, we will study in the book, but generally, when we are using the groundwater for our regular use, we use now this water is hard water, so we cannot use it for this, we cannot use it for that, and the taste of the water is not good. And if the water contain lot of hardness means when we are using that water for cooking, which makes white layer in the utensils, especially any vessels if you are using.
Okay.
Okay, that is nothing but the whatever the hardness or salts are there, which makes the deposition. That the deposition is only giving that whiteness layer on the bottom and sides of the utensils. After the discharge the water, take out the water, you put your hand and you just wipe it. You can find out white color powder will be stick on your hand, which is nothing but the hardness. Okay. So nowadays, but we have to thank to God as well as to the people, those who are working in that water department, water supply department. We are getting the water Krishna, Godavari, and Manjira water. All three sources of water naturally which contain less hardness than other one. You got my point. Whatever the water, this corporation water and municipal water we are getting in Hyderabad, They are getting water from 3 water sources. One is Krishna, another one is from Godavari, and the third one is from Manjira. These 3 water sources are basically by nature, it contain very less content of hardness. That is within the limit only. There is no need to remove the hardness in that water. Even then, sometime by discharging or mixing of some other rainwater, there will be a little deviation in hardness, but people are perfectly doing that process of removal hardness and they are maintaining the hardness level in a correct level. So we have to thank to God also, and we have to thank the people, those who are working in that water supply department. Because if hardness is there, they have to use some chemical. That chemical will impart some properties into the water. Then they will be consumed that water quite a long time. Then it gives some sort of negative effect. Those kind of fear we should not have when we are using the water in Hyderabad. You got my point, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
I wanted to say. So you people will do the practical test. That time you carry your groundwater and corporation water, you do the hardness. Hardness is one of the important parameters you are going to be analyzed. Hardness, pH, and sodium, calcium, magnesium, these are all the tests you are going to be done. When you are doing, if you have doubt means, whatever I said, if anything deviated means, please give me your feedback to me. Madam, you said like this, now this is like that, why it is? You can ask me, I will give the answer. Otherwise, I can make a claim to the water supply department also. Because like you people, many old students are there. They are working in water supply department. They are working well periodically and systematically. They are doing something. Something is collapsed somewhere that the entire city will be flap. So this water department people are working really good. And one more thing I would like to say, when the hardness is more, if you are using that water for quite a long time, if calcium and magnesium carbonate, it is more without boiling the water, if you drink quite a long time, which immediately affect the problem of our intestine. So to reduce that, if you are not using the Manjira water or corporation water, if you are using that groundwater means, you try to boil it before drinking. Try to boil it and transfer the water from the boiled container into the another container, then use. If you leave the water in the container in which you are boiling, if you keep it for a long time, the hardness will be again dissolved. So it will not be good. So you have to boil it. After boiling, as soon as you have to transfer into the another container to use it, then you will not have any issue. So whatever you people have told about that hardness definition, it is correct. It is a property that is being accounted technically to the public, which consumes more soap without the formation of any leather freely for washing. The hardness of water is due to the presence of some of the chemicals of calcium and magnesium. And there are 2 types of hardness. One is temporary, another one is permanent. The temporary hardness is mainly due to the presence of or solubilization of carbonates and bicarbonates of calcium and magnesium. And this is called carbonates hardness or temporary hardness. And permanent hardness is mainly due to the presence of chlorides and sulfates of calcium and magnesium. This is called permanent hardness or non-carbonate hardness. This temporary hardness can be easily removed, but a permanent hardness, it's quite difficult to remove from the water. For drinking purpose, always public water supply system, the hardness level supposed to be maintained in the range of 50 to 100 ppm or milligram per liter in water, that is soft water. Sometimes if the slightly hard water also can be agreed, that is groundwater, that is 100 to 150 ppm also, it is quite okay. So if excess hardness is there in the water means, we will not use that water because which consume large quantity of soap, especially for washing the clothes. And scale formation will be there in the utensils and boilers, in industrial boilers. And textile industry cannot use this water, especially which affects the bleaching process in the manufacturing. And it produces clogging in the pipes when it uses for quite a long time. And sometimes which makes the tuberculosis process also, which I have told one of the important questions. Tuberculosis means which is nothing but some sort of crust or hard formation will be there in the pipe, inside the pipe due to the magnesium carbonate formation. So these are all the problem of hardness presented in the water. Next one is dissolved oxygen. What is meant by dissolved oxygen? Anyone can answer to me? Hello? People became tired or what?
No, madam.
Not interested.
Interested, madam.
Presence of oxygen, ma'am.
Dissolved oxygen means presence
Presence
of
of oxygen in water.
Okay. Presence of oxygen. Okay, fine, good. Then anyone else? If
Maybe
oxygen
levels may be present to consider the oxygen levels. We have to consider the certain levels, ma'am.
okay. Okay, fine. Oxygen is supposed to be more in water or less in water for good quality of water?
Good quality.
For good.
Oxygen levels are more means good quality of water.
Okay, fine. If it is less means oxygen level.
Polluted, maybe polluted water.
Why? Why it is being said it is polluted water? How the oxygen will reduce in water? Whatever you said, it is correct, man. I am appreciating you, happy about you. Because oxygen is there in the water, where water, normal atmospheric oxygen will be dissolved in water, that is called dissolved oxygen. So if that is there, that is called good quality of water. If it is not there, that is not good quality, it is polluted water.
Okay,
so if it is polluted water means where the oxygen will go. You got my point?
Yeah.
Yes, where it goes.
Maybe
if there is less DO means it will result in the formation of say, algae. Madam.
Okay.
Microorganisms.
Then, correct only. That is only the reason. Tell me.
Develop some microorganisms in water.
Okay, some microorganism in the water means
three levels of the oxygen.
Okay. Then
Organic.
It will result in the
Decomposition.
Yes, it will create a problem for the aquatic life to survive if there is less DO.
Okay.
The fish will be dying if there is less DO.
Okay. So, okay. If people have some idea and also you started thinking about how it could be, very good. I'll tell you. Dissolved oxygen means this is nothing but whatever the atmospheric oxygen is there, it is being dissolved in water. Actually, water is what? H2O only. Hydrogen is there, oxygen is there. Which means that extra oxygen will be there. My question. Water means H2O. This dissolved oxygen means that oxygen only or excess oxygen. It's supposed to be excess oxygen, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
If you are quantifying something differently from one product, other than the composition means we are doing something extra means then extra must be there. That's what we are doing. So the dissolved oxygen means it is not a molecular oxygen of water. It is the extra dissolved in water. How much it is? The water oxygen content in water between the range of 8 and 10 ppm or 8 and 10 milligram per liter means the water is good quality water. Okay. If the dissolved oxygen content is less than the range or it is nil means the water is completely polluted water. Why they are committing like that? The oxygen is being consumed directly by what it can consume. Only animals can consume, isn't it? Other thing cannot consume. Plant cannot consume, no? Plant will release the oxygen. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
What? Okay, plant will release the oxygen. Only animal will consume the oxygen.
Yeah,
so
yes.
wherever the consumption is there, the presence of level will be reduced. So here what is happening when we are talking about the water pollutant and also pollutants, The oxygen level is started depleting in the water means in the water some of the organic matter is presented. We can confirm. The oxygen, whatever it may be there in the water, will be started used by the organic matter present in the water for their decomposition process. Whenever the organic matter decomposition takes place, it needs oxygen. When it started consuming that oxygen, the complex structure of organic matter will be decomposed into the small molecules. When it is happening like that, the total oxygen will be going away, which will be converted into either carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide during the decomposition process. Then it will be released into the atmosphere. So there is a problem of starvation of oxygen in the water. When it is consumed for quite a long time, there will not be any algal growth. There is a possibility of developing some other organism, and that also cannot be survived for quite a long time because that also needs something to consume. It is not there. So which indicates if the dissolved oxygen contained in water means which indicates the water is organically polluted. So
there we can, ma'am, there we can observe anaerobic organisms, ma'am.
What organism?
Anaerobic.
Yeah, it is possible. Yeah. There is a possibility of sometime it happens. I told you, no. Okay. Depends. Okay, depends. So decomposition will take place by two ways, no, either by thermal way and biological way. If it happens through chemical way, both the ways it consumes oxygen. If it is anaerobic way, there will not be any consumption, but decomposition takes place, which releases methane, carbon dioxide, like that. If
it will lead to anaerobic bacterial development, ma'am.
Possibility is there if there is a food for them.
Okay.
If it is not sufficient for their growth, it will not know.
Yeah.
Food starvation will be there. That is the point. So simply you can understand if organic load or pollutant is there in the water means, otherwise the dissolved oxygen content in the water is started reducing means you can understand that there is organic pollutant in the water. If organic pollutant is there in the water means which started decomposes, which continued till the process ends off, we do not have any end stage. Till the zero oxygen will come, the process will be continued. So the water cannot be used for human use. From that we can continue. Even we cannot use it for industrial process also. That can be committed only for agriculture use. Understand?
Agriculture. Okay, ma'am.
Okay. If it is there, it is good for agriculture use. It is not bad. Only the thing is smell will come. If we could able to bear that smell, then no use at all. Then next one is bacteriological test. Actually, this is very important, especially for drinking water purpose when we are considering, which indicate whether the water is contaminated with pathogenic bacteria or not. For good quality drinking water, there should not be any sort of bacterial contamination. Then only it is good. Actually, for your kind information, any biological students are there in this team?
No, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Then I have one small question. Bacteria, is it good for human health or bad for human health?
Some bacteria are good, ma'am. Like E.
what?
coli, Ester E. coli.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I wanted to tell to everyone. Actually, we are thinking, yes, ma'am, yes, thank you, really good. Actually, we are thinking that for others, I am telling, ma'am, you know that, so please don't mind it.
Okay, ma'am.
Bacteria means we are thinking that it is bad for everything. It is not like that. Bacteria, some of the good bacteria also is there. It is essential for some of the living things, like warm-blooded organism, including human being. The presence of E. coli or Escherichia coli is available. It's supposed to be there, which will be helpful for us. Without that, the food digestion will not take place properly. That is useful bacteria. That useful bacteria must be presented in our intestine. Otherwise, the digestion rate will be reduced or sometimes it becomes nil also. So but when it is coming into the point of water treatment and water quality, people are doing this E. coli test. Whether E. coli is presented in water or E. coli or B. coli, both are same only, people are telling. whether E. coli presented in water or not, people are doing. When it is present in the intestine, including human being and all warm-blooded organization, it's supposed to be there for the digestion. There it is not a pollutant, but when we are considering in water, it is considered as a pollutant. Any one of you can answer why? People are doing this B. coli test only for water quality test. If a B. coli presence is there, that is polluted water. If it is not there, that is food water they are committed. I can say that they have declared like that. But if it is there in the intestine, we are required that for our good living. But at the same time, when the water we are going to drink only. But if it is being in water means it is being considered as a wastage. Or we can say it is an enemy of it. So why they have considered like this? What would be the reason behind that?
Don't know, ma'am. No idea, ma'am.
No idea. Anyone?
Maybe excess quantity may harm the other parts of our body.
Okay, they said nil quantity. No, if there is no bacteria, means there should be no bacteria contamination for drinking quality. They themselves have written it. If B. coli are absent, then we can infer that the pathogenic bacteria are invariably absent. Then the water can be committed for human consumption. And B. coli test is carried out whether the water is bacterially pure or not. All the things they have committed. Then why it is being considered like that? Any one of you? Okay, this is also became a homework for you all. Already I have given one question. What is that? One exercise I have given as a homework. What is that?
You asked us to
Colloidal,
take
to take the colloidal checks.
Okay, you people check it and come tell me that.
How ma'am, can you explain again what to do?
You take one glass of water, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
One glass of water you take in any container, either it's a mug or any steel container, whatever it may be. Okay, you put little toothpaste into that water and make use of your finger. You just dissolve it totally.
Okay.
Make you dissolve it and you stir it with any spoon or anything, whatever it may be, and mix it. And the glass supposed to be transparent glass. You should not be. Otherwise, you cannot see. No.
Okay.
Any
it has to be settled, ma'am. For any time, it has to be.
It should not be settled.
Okay.
If it is settled, also you cannot see. That is the point of colloidal particle. But colloidal particle will be a little denser than the water molecule. It is merely suspended in nature. You cannot find out the settling. And you cannot visually find out also because of this color difference, and one small bigger particle will be lying in suspension here and there. From that you can understand. But you have to do this exercise in a transparent bottle or whatever it may be. Then only you can see it very clearly. Okay. This is one exercise. And the next one is why this B. coli, when it is inside our body, it is becoming good, and when it is outside of the body, it became worst. What is the reason behind that? Why we are doing B. coli test to assess the water quality, and we need the same thing in our intestine for our liveliness. Why? Both the question, the answer is same. Understood?
Madam, I think E. coli bacteria will affect the lungs.
Okay.
In intestine,
the same E. coli is supposed to be present in our intestine. I said no. All
in intestines, it will release some certain enzymes which are useful for digestion, ma'am.
Exactly. Very good, ma'am.
It will take our food, symbiotic relationship.
Yes, exactly, ma'am. The same thing is happening in this animal cow stomachs also. Actually, in cow, ox, they are having 4 parts of stomachs. Are you aware of it?
Yes, ma'am.
They are doing one part they are doing pulverization, another part the size reduction, and one is the digestion with the enzyme and this, and the last one is what a human being process takes that. Here, our intestine, we are thinking that it is very soft. Our intestine, it is not very soft. You people are aware of it? It is something very hard. That's why whatever the hard material we are eating, there it is digested. Are you agree with me or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Inside it is very hard. That's what we are eating. Sometimes bones, this, that, and all the pulses, cereals are hard also. We are eating also that can be digested like a pulverization machine or rice mill. It is doing the work like that. For that, what is happening? The kind of enzyme which is released from the intestine will be neutralized by the negative impact of this E. coli. The E. coli will be suppressed by that negative genes released by this, and it make it alive the enzyme, so the process is continued for the long time. The same thing will not be happening in other places. Only in warm-blooded living things only it happens, not in cold-blooded organisms. There it will give the negative effect. So once it comes out of the normal condition, the same effect will not be given by any sort of enzyme to the E. coli. That's what that is being considered as a pollutant. You got my point?
Please repeat, ma'am.
No, ma'am. So what I said in intestine, how it behaves, that is correct. That what you have explained, that is only the reason.
Okay, ma'am.
The same effect cannot be provided by the E. coli or provided to the E. coli by any sort of enzyme from the outside. The effect, the same kind of effect will be happening only in warm-blooded organisms.
Okay, ma'am.
Only in warm-blooded organisms. The same thing will not be happening in cold-blooded organisms. There it takes the same part of like a pathogenic activity. Here the pathogenic activity will be nullified by the kind of enzyme released from the intestine, or will be nullified by the organ. Understood? So that's what they are considering this as a pathogens. But when it is in intestine, it is being considered as a useful bacteria. And they have given a broad information in your book that is about the type of test conducted in water: physical test, chemical test, biological test, bacteriological test, and the radiological test. Physical test, as we have seen, that in terms of color, taste, turbidity, and temperature. Chemical test, they are doing broadly, that is pH, hardness, dissolved oxygen, metals and other chemicals, that is called calcium, magnesium, iron, sodium, manganese, potassium, nitrogen, and its compounds like in the form of nitrates, nitrites, ammonia. Phosphate, it is very, very important test. Chlorides and residual chlorine, also very important test. Sulfates, and all together they have calculated in the form of total solids. And in that they have classified into inorganic and organic solids. And another important parameter in terms of bones and teeth, that is fluoride. Biological test people are carrying out in terms of microscopic and biological organism in water like algae, fungi, protozoa, etc. Bacteriological test, they will do total count or standard plate count, coliform test, B. coli test or E. coli test, membrane filter technique. That different technique people are following up to find out the number of bacteria available in the unit quantity of water. That is called the count, total count or standard plate count. Both are same value. Radiactive test, always people are encountered in water quality test in terms of radium-26 only. Sometimes people rarely they are doing strontium. About this radium, I will explain in the next class in air pollution control technologies. Okay, this is about the water quality or water characteristics. From this unit, whatever I spoke, the entire unit they may ask as a one question, or part they will ask as a physical test, chemical test, or biological test, or water quality standard, whatever it may be they ask. So the entire unit you please study well. If you have any doubt, means you can contact me at any time.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, 12 more minutes we have. Shall I start up the next unit or we will wind up?
End up, madam.
Wind up, ma'am.
You all became tired?
Yes.
Okay, good. Right. We can't wind up. They will be terminated the class by their own. Meanwhile, if people have any doubt, any question, any clarification, or any discussion you can make. We can't wind up the class. They will terminate by their own from the university. If you want to go out, it will go out, but the class will not be ended up. And you can ask me any doubt if you have on both the papers or any exam point of view, anything, or any other subject related discussions we'll have. Why people keep quiet? You don't have any question or what? So, okay, I have doubt. Can I ask you? Hello?
Yes, ma'am, we'll try.
Okay. How the people are doing solid waste disposal in Hyderabad? This is general knowledge only. Wherever you have seen here and there something, you can answer to me.
Using polythene bags, madam.
That they are not disposing, sir. They are putting one place to another place. I'm asking total discharge.
Okay.
Solid waste disposal. Putting in the cover and leaving in the back throughout the city. At last, what they are doing?
They will collect and they will segregate into this dry and wet waste separately.
Okay. What they are doing with the wet waste? What they are doing with the dry waste?
Wet waste will be composted, madam. With the wet waste, it is composted, and dry waste, it is fuel. It is used as fuel.
We are telling and we are thinking that they are available everywhere. What some people are actually this is exam point in both the papers, whatever I'm handling in the solid waste disposal. If people are not interested, means I leave it. Why there is a noise?
The dry waste, it is used as again as fuel.
Okay, very good. Wet waste.
Wet waste, it is composted.
So at last, what product they are getting? Very good, correct only, sir. After composting, what they are getting?
I will prepare organic fertilizers, ma'am.
Organic manure.
Fertilizer.
Ah, yes, very good. Very good, very good.
Dry waste, they recycle the plastic, glass, everything. Paper.
Okay, good. That is the answer. But in that, many are there. This solid waste disposal in municipality level or in town level or in city level. This is one of the important question in your exam. Either it will come in wastewater treatment or in
Okay,
in
ma'am.
any one of the paper it will come. So many other techniques are also involved in that municipal solid waste. Actually, process wise, this is general kind of discussion, sir. Don't take it as a class. Casually hear me. It is involved right from the collection, gathering, transportation, and last sorting, then processing. There are different processes are available for disposing of this solid waste. Either it can be converted into useful fuels for power generation, or it can be used for fertilizer making. And sometimes people are following up a landfilling. Many things are available.
Gobar gas also, ma'am.
Gobar gas also. I will tell you one by one. The first one is they are converting into PL. I said, Nama. First one is they are converting into PL. For fuel conversion, they are following three important technologies. One is gasification, another one is pyrolysis, and the third one is whatever you are saying that anaerobic. or gobar gas generation. And the second one is making fertilizer composting process. And the next one is they are doing land filling. They make underground pit. At the underground pit, they are dumping the waste and then covering with the earthen material, plastic material. The same decomposition is taking places, and some of them will become like a composter material, and some of them gases will be released into the. Hello. Hare, from where the noise is coming?
Sir, Govardhan Rao garu, మీరు మ్యూట్ చేయాలి. I think Chetula Govardhan Rao garu, please mute your mic, sir.
Otherwise, I will do means it will not do.
I think you can do it, madam. You are the host.
Okay. So actually gasification pyrolysis, what madam said, gobar gas generation, that is for anaerobic digestion. These are all the way people are making this solid waste into fuel, and make use of the same thing, they can generate the power also. And the second technique is making fertilizer through the process of composting. And the third process they are following up by this land filling process. There also people are making waste reduction process for huge material to very less quantity. That can be a composted or unwanted material also. Some of the things they can be recycled. What she said, plastic, some metallic material, they will be collected and recycled. So these are all way till date people are doing. Other than that, incineration one technique is there. Whatever the unwanted things or material are there that cannot be reused, out of that we cannot get anything. Like that kind of material will be totally burnt out into less a few grams of ash. That is called incineration. Incineration means which is nothing but a process of combustion or burning at a very high temperature, more than 1000 to 1500 degrees centigrade. When we are burning all the things, the waste will be completely burnt out into very few grams of ash. That is incineration process. Actually 25 years before, this disposal of solid waste from hospital became a big issue. You know that. Now hospital waste disposal is a very big problem. The problem is being started out by the process of our technology of this incineration and incinerator only. So whatever it may be the gen waste, because hospital waste is infectious materials are there. Those infectious material, if they dispose to any of it, which creates or which promotes or which breeds n number of microorganisms into the atmosphere, where the people are living in and around will be affected severely within a short period of time. So how it can be disposed of? For that, incineration is a good technology to dispose of. Nowadays, the human body after death body can be easily disposed of by this incinerator process. For anyone can heard about it. In big mortuaries, incinerator is available. They will put the body in one side, and another side they will get only few gram of ash. Having yeah, that is incinerator only. So, that incinerator is a good technology for solid waste disposal of, but only it requires huge amount of investment cost and operation cost is not much, but installation cost is much. Once installed means the problem will be easily solved. All the hospital, you know that tons and tons of waste material is being generated per day. All the waste is being disposed of without any negative side effect. It is disposed till date by this incineration process only. What I am talking is highly in the exam point of view. People will ask what is meant by incinerator or incineration. Then you have to write whatever the story I said. Even human body also can be burned out. Within few minutes, you can get only few gram of ash. and which does not give any sort of negative impact. Only the thing is, while burning large quantity of heat along with the flue gas, it will be expelled into the atmosphere. That is only the negative impact. No other problem of any other waste will be accumulated, which will be disposed of. No other issue like this. This is about incineration. So these are all the way municipal level, city level, or town level people are following up for disposal of solid waste. And time is 4:29. Any other doubt now? Now whatever I told you people, if you have any doubt, means you can ask me. 1 minute more.
It's clear, madam. It is clear.
Clear, okay.
As I requested earlier, you please share previous PPT.
Sure. Now I will send through WhatsApp.
Yeah.
You people can get it, no issue. Anything else? Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. எங்க இருக்கீங்க? பஸ்ல வந்துட்டு இருக்கீங்களா? பேரடைஸ் இல்லையா? பேகம்பேட்ல இருந்து வர்றீங்களா? பேகம்பேட்ல இருந்து வர்றீங்களா? சரி ஓகே. సార్ ఆల్రెడీ బోర్డు ఇంటికి వచ్చేసింది సార్. సార్ సరే సార్ వచ్చింది, అందుకే నేను చెప్పడానికే కాల్ చేసింది. వేరే మా అక్క వచ్చింది. నేను నాకు 8:30కి ట్రైన్ సార్, నేను మళ్ళీ మళ్ళీ చెప్తున్నా. ప్లాన్ చేసి சொல்லிட்டேன் 2 தடவை சொல்லிட்டேன். கால் பண்ணிட்டேன். அவன் சொன்னா நான் 8:30க்கு எனக்கு ட்ரெயின், நான் போகணும்னு சொல்லியிருக்கேன். நான் வர்றதுக்கு கால் பண்ணுவாங்கன்னு சொல்லியிருக்கான். அவன் எங்க கஸ்டமர் இருக்காருன்னா நான் 7:30க்கு வரேன்னு ஃபர்ஸ்ட் டைம் சொன்னான். அப்போ அவன் சொன்னா நான் 7:30 8:00 வரேன்னு சொல்லியிருக்கான். நான் 8:30க்கு எனக்கு ட்ரெயின் சார், அதுக்குள்ள எனக்கு சொல்லியிருக்கேன். சரி, இந்த வளவள கேஸ் பண்ணிருக்கு. பார்த்தேன், வேலை செய்யற விதம் தெரிஞ்சிச்சுல, புரிஞ்சு கொடுத்துச்சுல, அதுதான் வேலையை பார்த்தான். நான் பேசலே மேடம் வாங்கன்னா வாங்க, அது பண்ணணும்னா சொல்லுங்க. நான் நினைப்பேன் நான் கஷ்டப்பட பேசுறேன். நான் உங்கள்கிட்ட 2 வருஷம் பேசிட்டேன். சிம்போனி செகந்திராபாத் பேசுகிறேன். பேர் அஞ்சு கால் பண்ணிருக்கேன். எங்க இருக்கீங்க? இருங்க நான் எத்தனை தடவை கால் அடிக்கிறேன். ஒரு நிமிஷம் இருங்க. அனுப்புல அப்படியே ரத்னாஜிக்கு போய் கையில காசு இருக்கா? நான் வீட்டுலதான் இருக்கேன். கையில காசு இருக்கா? எவ்வளவு வச்சிருக்கீங்க? சரி, ரத்னாஜிக்கு வரைக்கும் போங்க. ஆஃபர்ல வந்து டோப்பு இருந்தா பார்த்து வாங்கிட்டு வரீங்களா? ரத்னாஜிக்கு வரைக்கும் போய் நீங்க அதுதான் அங்க கீழே கால் பண்ணி நீங்க கால் எடுக்கல. ரத்னாஜிக்கு வரைக்கும் போய் டோப்பு வந்து பை 1 get 1 free ஆஃபர்ல இருந்தா பார்த்து வாங்கிட்டு வரீங்களா? அது அங்க போகணும். போயிட்டு இப்ப செக்ஷன்ல மாடி வச்சிருக்காங்க. மாடி வந்து அந்த பொண்ணுங்களுக்கு கேளுங்க, அம்மா டோப்பு வந்து ஆஃபரோட என்ன இருக்கு அப்படின்னு கேட்டா அவங்க சொல்லுவாங்க. நீங்களே பாருங்க, பை 1 get 1 free அல்லது 40% ஆஃபர். பார்த்துட்டு நான் கால் பண்றேன் ஒரு 10 minutes. சரியா? பாருங்க. நாங்க என்ன இருக்கு எதுக்குன்னு பாருங்க. இல்ல மஷ்ரூம் வேண்டாம். வெறும் டோஃபு. சரியா? ஓகே, நான் நீங்க போங்க, நான் கால் பண்றேன். இங்க வந்து இன்னைக்கு அன்னைக்கே கிராஸ் பண்ணி சீக்கிரம் இங்க போய் கிராஸ் ஆகும். எதுக்கு நானும் அந்த கை போட்டுட்டாங்க. பார்த்தா பிச்சை எனக்கு நிச்சயமா ஒரு தடவை க்ளோஸ் பண்ணி வச்சுருந்தாங்கல்ல. இங்க இருந்து அங்க போங்க, நாங்க போறதில்ல ஓட்டாங்க. இப்பதான் ஓபன் பண்ணி சரி அங்கே இரு நான் பேசுறேன் என்ன